need to take a sip of water, so I need you to vamp for me real quick.
We're gonna go into patch notes for Overwatch. Absolutely amazing. Let's pull up Overwatch patch notes where they're gonna buff Malga because no one wants to play him anymore, and they just made all their skins. Right? I didn't even look at the patch notes, man. Like this is literally I don't even watch any of these games. So that's just off me saying off the rip, trying to be a trolly person. But sounds like I'm right.
Let me throw the developer update up here while I drink a little bit more water and get function of my articulates back together as we dive into it. And I'll save the you're right part for when we get to it. So,
and it is sweating.
A billion degrees in here right now.
No AC.
Yeah, and it feels great. Hey,
they're real
it's
people.
Aaron from the Overwatch team, and we're back with another developer update. The season of Spellbinders is Overwatch's lucky number 13 season, and we're looking forward to sharing some of the tricks and treats we have for you at launch. I'll walk us through some of the reworks coming to a few of our core maps, and then I'll pass it to my teammates Cynthia Lee and Angelica Silva to cover updates to our in-game systems and our enchanting seasonal mythic skin. But before we jump into those topics, I am thrilled to announce Halloween Terror is back at Season 13 launch with Wrath of the Bride and an all-new game mode, Junkenstein's Laboratory. In this mode, our heroes have mutations that you can choose from to enhance their abilities and change their gameplay characteristics. For example, you could upgrade Orissa's ability Javelin Spin to propel her off the ground and take flight. Or maybe you queue up damage and choose to upgrade Genji's Deflect to protect yourself 360 degrees from all directions. You could upgrade Moira by bending Coalescence to your will to be purely healing or purely damage. We all know which one you're going to pick. Whatever you decide, we want you to have a great time customizing and trying new things with your upgrades. The purpose of this mode is to put the power in your hands to decide how you build out and customize your hero's talents. We can't wait to see what shenanigans and strategies you uncover in Junkenstein's Laboratory. So be sure to jump into this brand new game mode and let us know what you think. Alrighty.
All right, dude, I gotta jump in because I do feel like this is a secret, sneaky thing, and I think it's fantastic. So first and foremost, I want your thoughts, Nick. What is your impression so far of the developer update and the specific what they're talking about here, where it's Junkenstein's ability changing thing?
Fun game mode. Probably should be brought back once a month. Like, without even playing it, like I can tell you right now, it should probably be brought back once a month. It's a little break from, what I experienced in Overwatch.
Well, I'm going to tell you my thoughts because you're right. And I got to play a couple games earlier today because it just launched with Season 13 today. But regardless of the playtime thing, I think this is a very sneaky developer way to test new features and changes to the format of the game. So here we go.
Yeah, 100%.
The one thing I need to say that he did not say is that when you play this game mode, I don't think you can change heroes. You select the hero and then you can't change. So first and foremost, that might be a solution to Counterwatch, right? The constant swapping between teams because rock beats paper and paper beats, all that stuff, right? I know that wasn't correct, but you get the point.
No, I'm laughing because it's not like I haven't said that on this channel.
This might be their sneaky way of testing that as a solution to the game mode in general, but then they're also testing rollout kits, equipment. And it's not a sophisticated equipment as we saw earlier with Super Vibe where it evolves, or maybe as more in depth with League of Legends and Dota, but it's still a kit that every round you get a new ability or like a asterisk on that ability where you can just shift your power, your player power, your character power, your hero power, whatever you want to call it, etc., which then impacts how you play or maybe how you adapt to playing against the other team. Now, those two things I think are the main sneaky focus here, because those two things have been the biggest complaint about countering in Overwatch to solo tanking in 5v5, where it's one tank just gets beat by the other tank, so then you have to switch or you just get flamed. You're not doing well because the healer is not, playing the comp right, etc. We've all been there, that normal experience you were talking about, Nick. So I think this is a sneaky way for them to test out these features and how it works in function in actual play, even if it isn't a serious game mode. I think they're going to get a lot of play data to see how it works out. And then I think, I want to throw this last part out there. This is awesome because it's finally putting some fucking PvE into this PvE expected game. They're finally using these talents that have probably been around for so long. So it's nice to see. So a little clap for that. Awesome. Hype for that. But yes, I think those are the two main reasons and the two cool sneaky parts of this patch currently. Any response?
No, I mean, like that's exactly what a couple other companies have done that we've already spoken about it, right? That's like Plunderstorm was an example of this, right? Just testing the waters, testing out new things, seeing what can happen. Riot does this all the time with like new game modes. I was just telling you, Summoner's Ultimate Spellbook was back. We have a ton of them in League. Just like fun things, or things that just change the game and change the way you play inherently. I mean, the real secret to this one is probably that they're actually going to rework Moira into a DPS character soon. Like, it's just like, because everybody doesn't play her properly. And even when you do, you kind of get flamed unless you're winning, to be honest. Like, that's just the kind of way like Moira is.
You are playing her properly. That is how she should be played. At that point, I know we've talked about too, where a lot of people go into it thinking the World of Warcraft mentality. They are healers, not supports, but supports mean you do damage. Just like if you go into a Mythic Plus or high-end rating, those healers, and whenever they have downtime, they're pumping damage into the boss. So it's not just heal bot the tank soaks everything. But anyway, Moira, people have had complaints about her kit not feeling very depthful, not a lot of skill expression. Hey, maybe this is another aspect that actually makes it a little bit of skill expression. Let's go all damage or all healing or both. It's a little different thing. But anyway, I hear you on that one. That's a good point to make, where those backline Moiras.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the beam be like healing or just damage or something like that, right? But this is I said this in Overwatch 1 to you. Like, I thought Mei should have been changed in Overwatch 2 to become a tank. I thought Mei would have been like a really, really cool tank the way that like she was before. You could have turned the the freezing down. They took it away because it's pretty busted on like a DPS character. Unlike a tank, it's not too crazy where he's like, I froze one of them, and I'm in the front line, right? So like, I think this is like really like just really interesting things. Like, Torbjorn should probably become a tank, to be honest.
Interesting. Interesting point.
DPS characters that aren't really good and are hard to balance around should become tanks, and healers that people don't use properly should become DPS. Like, it's a pretty good change, to be honest.
So then tanks that end up being bad, like Malga and Roadhog, because the kit should just turn and be healers?
No, DPS. They become DPS, right? Roadhog should be a DPS. Malga should be the DPS version of Rhine. But, whatever. This game's cool.
All right, let's get into the rest of this dev update and see what else has in store for us. Just as we get past the Moira coalescence again, all blue beam all the time.
Bro, that's not blue. Just so we're clear, that's purple, homie.
Come on, man, I'm colorblind. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, me too. I was just trying to help you out so you don't get to. Now everybody knows they can't say anything in the comments.
Right. Okay.
This guy doesn't even know what purple is. How could he even talk about esports? Like,
let's get back into the video.
See what shenanigans and strategies you uncover in Junkenstein's laboratory. So be sure to jump into this brand new game mode and let us know what you think. Alrighty, shifting gears into some of the other changes this season, let's talk through some of our map reworks. Dorado, Numbani, Circuit Royale, and Havana all have reworks at season launch. And one of the main goals behind all these changes is to address balance across the maps for both attackers and defenders. But let's get into a few of the specific changes. For Dorado, we're reducing harsh defender lines of sight to prevent spawn camping. We also added a new staircase in Area 2 that makes the high ground more accessible for attackers. Additionally, we shortened some flank routes and adjusted cover placements around the whole map. With New Bonnie, we simplified the capture point in Area 1 and made it more accessible to the attacking team. We also added a defender forward spawn in Area 3 to make it easier for defenders to get back to the payload as it's moving through Area 2. Area 3 also saw some changes to various angles and flank routes. On Circuit Royale, we made adjustments to combat spawn camping across all 3 areas. The first attacker's spawn has been adjusted to reduce spawn camping with added cover and by removing the stairs that overlook the spawn doors. Flank options were also added in Area 1 to contest defenders on high ground and in Area 2 for attackers to take the rear high ground. In Area 3, sightlines were improved to help attackers poke at the defenders in the final area. And lastly, for Havana, we adjusted high ground access and spawn room pathing to reduce spawn camping. New routes and scale adjustments have been added to Area 2. And finally, blocked lines of sight and cleaner navigation in the final area should give both teams a variety of smoother options when approaching the final point. We're looking forward to seeing you play through these reworks and hearing what you think. Next up, my teammate Cynthia is going to share.
I want to stop us there because I want to talk about these map reworks. This is huge.
Hey, Billy here. Wanted to take a quick minute to let you know a few different things. If you enjoyed the video so far, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out and it tells the algorithm to share it with more people. You can find the Esports Meta live every week on Twitch and YouTube. It's where we film the podcast or hang out, play games, and chat. If social media is more your vibe, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or Twitter if you use Threads. Does anybody use Threads? This is a video game community that's excited to talk about esports, so jump into the conversation. Of course, you can find more videos like this here on YouTube. Just hit that subscribe button right there or there. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the show.